Not complaining after walking up the hills, nice to have a breeze. So we're looking pretty much west and southwest, I reckon, here. There's a summit marker with forward drive Overlander stickers. Someone's had a little fire here. Alright, how's it going, people? Today I'm at North Kilkivan, Queensland, inland from Gympie, and just drove along Shamrock Road, which heads into Wrattens National Park. Go past two big lakes, and I just found off the side of the road a little cascade on the tributary of Collins Creek that flows out of the lake, and you literally see the top of the rocks falling off the side of the road. So comes out and explored that, so check their video out. That's a separate video. So this track here now, 3k's return, a little bit further up the road. This is a side track with no name. It's a little bit muddy, and I was a bit worried about how bad it's going to be. It's marked as a forward drive track, and probably made the right decision here to walk this. It looks like she's getting steeper, muddier, and more uneven. The plan was to walk this anyway, but yeah. Anyway, apparently this loops around into another track that turns into either a motorbike track, a thin walking track, and joins back to Shamrock Road again. You could probably go either way. Maybe that road is wider, you could actually drive it. I don't know, but we're just gonna walk this, and look at this. She's definitely getting rocky and steep, so I wouldn't have got up this. Probably would have got to here, if anything. But yeah, it looks like other people have turned around there too. Anyway, so supposed to be some good views up here, Mount Mea, so see how we go. I've seen a photo, looks alright. I'm pretty sure I saw this on Aussie Bushwalking, so shout out to them. It is winter, it's about 17 degrees actually, full blue sky day, couldn't ask for a better day. So I really want to knock this out with good weather today. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock, so I've already done a couple of things this morning. Bit of odds and ends as usual out here in winter. Fucking rugged track now. I do reckon it was 23 degrees. Wow, I think it got up to 25 earlier. So we're at 529 meters, and got to climb, not a hell of a distance, but look at these ruts here, holy shit. Some serious forward driving. Mount Mea is over 600, so we're only going to gain about 70 meters of elevation or sprint. Anyway, see you up here on Scooter Viewpoint. Happy days. Shout out in the comments if you have been here, guys. If you haven't, well, I'm going to see if it's worthwhile together. The track flattened for a little bit as we get around this corner. It's a bit of a knoll. We're kind of going to dip down and we're going to climb up. Between the trees you can see Mount Mea. I can see the shape of it. I don't think it's going to show on the camera too well, but and it looks pretty treey, but I have seen a viewpoint, so there's obviously a gap for a vantage point. Happy days. I'm already spying some awesome views down the side there, off the side of this little ridge line, so if that's any indicator of what it's going to be like. And yeah, I've seen the photo and I think she's going to be fucking amazing, especially with this blue sky day. A little bit of wind here. I'm surprised it's windy here. I don't know, there was a bit of wind. I was closer to Gympie as well. Actually, yeah, a bit south of Gympie, in a cleared plantation on a hill. And obviously when trees get cleared, a bit more wind comes along, but yeah, we've got trees and not cleared and it's still windy, so there you go. A little bit of lantanas. The track's enclosing slightly with it, but not bad. Alright, that valley wasn't much in the saddle. This is the start of our ascent. Alright, so pretty much up. This is the pretty much the highest point we're about to go down a little bit, but then again, it's marked on my map as the summit as the next little bit over, so it's kind of like two parts of the summit, and this has really no view, and I think maybe if you went up a little bit higher you might get some blocked up view up there, but we'll entertain this down to the next vantage point, or the next little knoll where I think the vantage point is. Look at the view swing there, still pretty good, like even though partially blocked. Wow. Yeah, I think we're going to get that edge. It looks like it's cutting away real steeply, so we'll get a view again. It's going to be sick. Rightio. So we'll just head around here and see. We'll see. Look at this. Just cuts right down. Holy fuck. That is awesome. Maybe we'll do an off track up there after that first knoll, but we'll keep heading down to the next bit where I think the view actually will be better. But just for shits and giggles, we'll go back over that because that was fairly easy scrub to go through. Fuck, you can't believe how much it just cuts away here. That is wild. Surprised you even have a road up here. It's windy. Woo! Nice. It's the windiest mountain I've had for a while. Look at this. Wow, that is dope. Fucking amazing. We'll see if we get any more views better. We're not quite at the end of this yet. So yeah, another little saddle, and now we're pushing up the last bit of the knoll here to the last where the summit is marked. We're pretty close. There we go. Track going out to the left. There's a summit marker with forward drive overlander stickers. Someone's had a little fire here. The views are a little bit shrouded in here. Maybe back where we were was the best vantage point. We'll go a little bit further this way just to see what the dealio is. And yeah, if you're forward drive and get up there to fucking ruggedness, you would have a pretty cool campsite. This probably turns into this motorbike walking track I talked about, possibly. Or was that maybe the other one down the other way? I don't know. Look at this wind. Wow. That is hardcore. I'm not complaining after walking up the hills, nice to have a breeze. So we're looking pretty much west and southwest, I reckon, here. That's a big fucking valley, eh? It's wild. Look at this fucking ridgeline here. It's so fucking abrupt. Very cool. We'll sneak around a little bit further just to see. Definitely an easy short walk, and even shorter if you just drove it. If this is the track, it's turned to shit. I don't know if there's any rock outcrop. Let's have a look at my map. So yeah, no, the track down to the right back there is the other track down. This way you just fizzles to nothing. It could maybe get another vantage point, but I don't really think so. It doesn't look like much rock in the satellite. But yeah, fucking epic. So down there, that creek is Wide Bay Creek. It's quite long. It actually joins around to this other creek that I just sussed at before, Collins, that ran off the dam I just talked about. And they form into another section where there's going to be some waterfalls. So I can see the steep gully, but it doesn't look like there's a hell of a lot of waterfalls in this section. It looks like just cascades down in there. The side's steeper than what the creek is. But the other bend where it hits where Collins is, definitely more potential downstream there. The next gully over behind that, it's called Stony Creek. So Green Gully is right behind it, in that thin little gully. And then over behind that is Stony Creek eventually, and they both all hit into Wide Bay. It's interesting. There you have it. Alright, I'm gonna get some photos and head back down, but look at this fucking blue sky, perfect sun, no, not even one cloud, people. Couldn't have got a better day for this. And the final elevation is 618. So yeah, not too bad. Looks like someone's had another fire there. I reckon you could forward drive that too. This actually might even be a slightly better way, but I'm not going to bother walking it because it's just going to make my walk longer, and I don't really think it's really necessary. Although it does hug the escarpment a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, meeny, miny, mo. On hindsight, I probably should have just done the loop, but anyway, we're going on the off track. Bit of this first no-name bit of the knoll, just to see if it gets any better. A lot of grass trees up here. We might see if we can somehow get a slightly better view. The road's gone below it, not exactly over it. Even though that it says it kind of goes over the middle of it, but I can clearly see it's wrong, it doesn't. Clearly high here. I don't know if anyone else has been curious enough and looked up here. This must be slightly lower when where the sub marker is. I don't know why they didn't mark this bit. This is a bigger knoll too, like just wider. Yeah, the view's a bit more blocked. Go up here. Oh, there's a massive rock can, like massive. Oh, look at that. So you've got a summit marker, but then another rock can. That's the summit marker. Big spider. Hello. First one I've seen of this today. Yeah, so it makes me wonder why it's double marked. That's cool that we found this. Probably most people wouldn't bother because they think the other one's the marker and that's it. Maybe they had a pole in the middle of this. They normally did when they have these rock cans this big. It's essentially not just a rock can, it's essentially holding a trig or something. Yeah, see if we can just get on the other side of it and see if we can get a another spider web. Jesus. All up here guarding the top. You just see on the other side, it looks like it could be a little bit open. Just I'm curious. There we go. Slight little rock outcrop. Yeah, they're much the same sort of views, but it's still cool. Cool to find this. Trust my nose, I knew I was right. Maybe we could just jut out there because that looks like one last chance for a view. Possibly still blocked. Maybe before this tree grew. Definitely a good spot to see it. I'm going to admire it all in. If this tree was cut down. Yeah, we'll call it that, call it done. Alright, I'm going to head back down. Hope you enjoyed this place. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hit notification bells to get notified of all the new misadventures. I'll catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out.